Okay, welcome to our webinar on cloud integration for data services migration from the SAP BTP Neo environment to the SAP BTP Kyma environment. This webinar will be recorded and you are muted by default. But if you have any questions, you can add your questions in the question window. And at the end of the webinar, you will receive a feedback form. Please you to fill it out. My name is Markus Diekmann and I'm working as a consultant for Consilio, and my focus are projects in supply chain management and integrated business planning. Company Consilio supports companies in SAP projects and has already managed numerous SAP S/4HANA projects as well as projects for other SAP modules. And we have worked with customers from various industries such as automotive, aerospace, or consumer goods. Let us have a look on the agenda. We will start with an overview of the key points of the migration. Then we will walk through the 5 migration steps. So we need to configure a trust in CIDS, the identity provider. Then we will configure the trust for the Cloud Identity Services CIS to trust the CIDS. Then we will do a validating step in the Kyma environment and performing required pre-configurations so that the systems could communicate with each other. Then the migration time slot selection will be done. This is your go live date when you switch from Neo environment to Kyma environment in productive systems. And lastly, the last step is the migration and your go live. And there are some more required activities. And then lastly, we conclude the migration topic with the key points. The SAP BTP Neo environment will be sunsetted, currently planned at the end of 2028, and therefore is a migration from Neo to the new environment Kyma necessary. The user access remains the same, only the hosting platform changes, and in your CIDS, all customer tenant data will be copied from the Neo environment to the CIDS service on Kyma, including users, agents, data stores, projects, task processes, and system configurations. So there is, at this point, there are not any tasks. But the obligatory migration is currently planned by SAP with a deadline of December 2026. And the requirements which must be done for this migration is to create a trust between the CIS and the Kyma tenant. Then the connection of the data service agent must be adjusted. And on IBP side, the communication requires changes to connect to the new Kyma environment. And then there are some validation steps to evaluate if everything works as before. And then there are some tasks in the go live section. In your CIDS, you will find a subsection in the administration area. It is called Of Neo Migration Guide. On there you can see your tenant migration request. And if you click on the continue button in the right corner, then your migration starts. Let us begin with the first step, enabling trust in CIDS to trust the CIS. The first step looks like this. You need to upload your metadata from CIS in your CIDS. And here you can see there's a browse button where you can upload the data. But I will show you now how to get these data in your CIS. You have to be logged in your CIS, and then you click on tenant settings. Then in the single sign-on section, you click on SAML 2.0 configuration, and then there's on the right side a button to download the metadata file. And this file you need to upload in the first step in your CIDS. Alternatively, to log in into your CIS, you can download the metadata with an URL. It's look like on the button here. There's the link. It's your tenant ID .accounts.ondemand.com /SAML2 /metadata. Yeah. And if you uploaded this data, you will get a notification per mail if it was successful or not. And if it was not successful, you have to check if there are some issues with the metadata file you provided. Maybe you did an error, or if you cannot explain it, you need to contact SAP why there was an issue. So now we have created the trust on CIDS side, and in the second step we have to enable that the CIS also trust with the CIDS. And there you can download metadata from CIDS in the second step by clicking on the button download service provider metadata for your organization. And this metadata has to be uploaded in your CIS. And I will show you now how to do it. To upload this, you first need to create a new application. You cannot use the application in your CIS from new. It has to be created a new one, and recommend you to create this application as a sub-application from your IBP system. And for this, you go to Application and Resources, then click on the Create button and enter the name for this new system, CIDS, and your organization name. Then you go on in this SAML 2.0 configuration again, and then there is a button to upload the metadata, and there you upload this file you downloaded from CIDS. And lastly, in your CIS, you have to configure the single sign-on attributes, and it should be your name, your last name, and your email address, like you have it in CIDS. And now we have created the trust between the two systems. And if we finish the second step, the copy of the Neo environment CIDS sandbox to the Kyma environment will be done. There will be created a full copy, but we have to look first on our data service agent landscape. And our best practice is that we recommend for testing, to connect with your IBP test system, you have a single agent in a test group, and in your production group, you have two agents which communicate with your IBP productive system. And to continue with the validation, our recommendation is to create a new agent for the Kyma validation in the test group, as you can see on the right side. So we recommend you to create a second agent to not be restricted during the validation in, for example, development or some testing purposes in your test system IBP. And it should be done before the copy in step 3, because if we don't do it before, the agent configuration in your CIDS won't be copied to Kyma. Due to the Kyma environment needs a data service agent release of 24.9. But due to root certificates, we recommend you to update your agents to 25.09. So, so we have created the trust and created a new agent. Now we can start with the validation step in on the Kyma environment. And it looks like this. So the third step, the current situation is that the Neo sandbox is still available. You can develop and test in your Neo sandbox. Neo production works as before, and we have access to a new tenant. It's the Kyma test environment, and you can access it via the link behind access your new tenant. And the task in this step is to validate the Kyma environment. But to validate, there are some preparations that must be done first. And view on our data service agent landscape again, we have created the second agent in the test group, which we would like to use for the Kyma validation. And the task is that we reroute this agent from the Neo environment URL to the new Kyma environment URL. And this can be done on the agent server with an replace URL script. Yeah, and short information. Although a full copy from Neo to Kyma of all agents is made, we only show you in this view the active agent in the Kyma section. In addition to rerouting the agent, there are some requirements on the IBP side. We have to enable that the IBP can connect to the Kyma environment, and therefore we have to adjust the communication system and the communication arrangement. For the communication system, we already have the communication system for the CIDS on Neo. There are no changes required, but we recommend you to create a new communication system for CIDS on Kyma. You can create it on the same way as you have your CIDS communication system on Neo, but you have to exchange the host name to the new Kyma URL you could access in step 3 on your CIDS. And for the communication arrangement, it is a bit more difficult than for the communication system, as we cannot create two of the same communication arrangement. So we have to update the current communication arrangement, and then we have to switch it between Neo and Kyma based on if we are in developing new task in the Neo sandbox or we are validating in the Kyma environment. So we can do it by switching from the Neo to Kyma communication system in your communication arrangement. You can see here in the common data section, there is a point with communication system. There you can change from one communication system to the other one, and your communicate. Secondly, you have to adjust the path. If you have Neo, if you want to switch to Neo, you have enter /dsod/web services, and if you want to switch to Kyma, you remove the /dsod, and you have only /web services in your path field. Then after you have enabled that the IBP system can communicate with the CIDS Kyma tenant, and you routed the agent to Kyma, you can start with the validation of the CIDS Kyma tenant. And this can be done by checking the connection of the Kyma landscape. For example, if the IBP data store is connection is available and tasks can be scheduled from IBP, and can you start CIDS task from your agent to load data into IBP. And depending on the changes, for example, you have a new agent or an existing changes you use for test, you need to validate using key tasks and processes. And testing if everything works as expected. Then you have to validate other tasks. For example, you not only have the IBP system connected, so could you start tasks from ERP system or other target systems and technologies. And then you need to check if you use the schedulers in CIDS. Are the calendars working in the schedulers, and does the scheduling of tasks and processes work properly on Kyma? And if you validate everything properly, you can go back to your to Kyma section in the CIDS and confirm that you successfully validated the CIDS for Kyma. And then you can go to step 4. And step 4 is the migration of time stop selection, where you have to select your migration date. Everyone of you got a mail by SAP where you were assigned to a migration wave. What does these migration waves mean? So wave 1 is currently running, so so your migration will be between November 2025 and December 2025, and the wave 2 until 5 are the 4 quarters in 2026. And if due to some reasons this wave does not fit for you, you can contact SAP via mail to change your migration wave. And in your migration wave, in this step, you can check which migration windows are available. So that it's a time slot of 2 hours, and you can evaluate which slot fits for you. And you can select it depending on availability. So we recommend you to start with all steps as soon as possible, for example, as you can see on this screenshot, Sunday, 3rd August 25, it's just an example, is not available anymore. Though then you, if you wait until the last possibility, you have to take the slot which is available, and you're not free in your decision. And we recommend you to select a time slot that has where are not any jobs, and we recommend you to do it during your working time, though, because after the finished migration there are some activities which has to be done. And you should keep your date in mind so that you can be prepared for your selection. And after you have scheduled the live date, you need to prepare the go live. And after the migration, there are some other to-dos for the productive system, on which we have a look now. So another view on the data service agent landscape again. And on the left side is the situation from the Kyma validation, how we adjusted the data service agent landscape. And now preparing for go live, we recommend you short time before the go live date to route the first agent from the productive system from Neo to Kyma. But it is important that you select in the application jobs in your IBP not a single agent. You should select the group so that your task won't be failed because there's no the agent is not available. Yeah. So you route your second productive agent to Kyma, and then after the go live, a full copy is being done again from Neo environment to Kyma, though that's the final copy if the migration does not fail. And then you have your already routed agents already connected to the Kyma environment. So that's the side is the test 2 and the prod 2. And test 1 and prod 1 are inactive at the moment because they are routed to Neo, and Neo is not available anymore. And by this reason, you have to route these agents, test 1 and prod 1, to the Kyma environment. Then on IBP side again, you have to adjust that IBP productive system can communicate with the CIDS on Kyma 2. On communication system side, the communication system on Neo you don't need anymore, though you can delete it. And the CIDS on Kyma have to be created on the same way you created it in the validation step on in your test system with the Kyma URL you got from step 3. And your communication arrangement can be updated to Kyma by updating the communication system and the path on the same way we did it in step 3, by switching the communication system to the new Kyma communication system, and the path to field will be adjusted to /web services. And what are the go live steps? First, you need to prepare and consider the CIDS downtime of 2 hours. That's an estimation by SAP. and then you need to check the migration. So after the migration is done, you will get a notification if the migration was successful. Kyma is available for usage and Neo is not available anymore, and you continue working with the CIDS on Kyma environment. If the migration fails, the Neo environment is still available, and you have to create an issue by in your SAP for me to contact SAP to be assigned to a new migration wave and get a new migration slot. Then you need to update the remaining data service agents pointing towards Kyma so that they have been routed on your agent server to the new URL. Then there are some sanity checks. So you are, after the migration, you check if the connection to the data stores are working. Can the tasks and process be executed properly? Then is scheduling of tasks and processes from SAP IBP possible? And could you promote tasks from sandbox to production in your CIDS? Then is it possible to create or delete users in your CIDS, or are there some issues? So that are the tests you should do. And let us come to a conclusion. We have again summarized the mandatory steps for the provisioned tenants and commend you with the preparation steps to technical preparation, validation and tests, defining the downtime window, so your migration slot, as soon as possible to ensure that to get a time slot which fits your needs. And after this time slot selection, there are some preparation, including, for example, adjusting the productive agent and informing the relevant instances that there will be some adjustments according CIDS necessary. For example, if you are working with external partners. Yes. And then there are the post migration activities after the migration by SAP. And then probably some hypercare after this. Thank you for your audience, and now we are looking forward for your questions. There's a question. With all the preceding steps you mentioned be done during this migration wave, or has to be done during this migration wave? The preceding steps has to be done before the migration wave, because these preceding steps has to be done, and if you finish with the preparation steps, then you can select your slot in your wave, and that's by this reason we recommend you to do it as soon as possible, not wait until your migration wave. And then there's another question, how does it impact me if I do not have yet an IBP license? Okay, this migration primarily affects only existing IBP customers who are using CIDS. So if you have new IBP license, you will not use CIDS, you will be using the cloud integration CI and not CIDS. Then there's another question, will we get support from SAP for this? Only if you ask that you need help, though there are some documents and SAP help where it's described what you have to do. But if there are some issues you don't know how to continue, you can get support from SAP, but not immediately. Does every step in IBP job have to be adjusted manually because of the changed agent? It depends on if how you configured your job, so you can enter the agent manually in your IBP application jobs, but there's another possibility to define a default configuration with your global configuration parameters, and then you just have to click to activate in your job that you want to use the default configuration. Another question, does Conceal provides a consultation service for these activities that our basis team can use? I think you could contact us, and then we could talk about it. Are there any further questions? If not, you can write us a mail, and then we could discuss these questions. Then I would please you to wait and then fill out the feedback form. Thank you for your audience and your questions.